like a second skin for the fallen and the ones who rise. In the name of freedom, we ride the skies. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. Yeah, for glory's sake. In the heart of the storm, we find our way. On the edge of the wild, we won't betray. Every life never turned to do or die. With the spirit of warriors, the game. In the heart of the storm, we found our way. On the edge of the way, on the edge of the wild, we won't betray. In the heart of the storm, we find our way. On the edge of the wild, we won't betray. Every lap, every turn, it's do or die. With the spirit of warriors, we reach for the sky. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We're GLR for glory's sake. We're GLR for glory's sake. We're the outlaws on the asphalt, running wild, we'll never fall. In the shadows where the strong survive, GoatLocker Racing, we come alive. We're brothers and sisters bound by the cold. In the heat of the battle, we lighten the load. From the dirt to the track, we stand our ground. With a roll like thunder, we shake the town. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We've got the scars to show where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise. In the name of freedom, we ride the skies. From the first green flag to the final lap, we push the limits, no turning back. With the wind at our backs and the sun in our eyes, GoatLocker Racing, we'll claim the prize. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. Find our way. On the edge of the wild, we won't betray. Every lap, every turn, it's do or die. With the spirit of warriors, we reach for the sky. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. But we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise. In the name of freedom, we ride the skies. We got the scars to show where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. But we wear them proud to show where we've been, but we wear them proud for glory's sake. We're the heart of the storm when we've been bent, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise. In the name of freedom, we ride the skies. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. Yeah, for glory's sake. In the heart of the storm, we find our way. On the edge of the wild, we won't betray. Every life never turned to do or die. With the spirit of warriors, the game. In the heart of the storm, we find our way. On the edge of the way, on the edge of the wild, we won't betray. In the heart of the storm, we find our way. On the edge of the wild, we won't betray. Every lap, every turn, it's do or die. With the spirit of warriors, we reach for the sky. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. GLR for glory's sake. We're GLR for glory's sake. We're the outlaws on the asphalt, running wild, we'll never fall. In the shadows where the strong survive, GoatLocker Racing, we come alive. We're brothers and sisters bound by the cold. In the heat of the battle, we lighten the load. From From the dirt to the track, we stand our ground. With a roar like thunder, we shake the town. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. We've got the scars to show where we've been, but we wear them proud like a second skin. For the fallen and the ones who rise, in the name of freedom we ride the skies. From the first green flag to the final lap, we push the limits, no turning back. With the wind at our backs and the sun in our eyes, GoatLocker Racing, we'll claim the prize. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us, no fear can break. We're GLR for glory's sake. Our way on the edge of the wild, we won't betray. Every lap, every turn, it's do or die. With the spirit of a warriors, we reach for the sky. We're racing through the fire, burning bright. With the grit of the brave, we fight the night. No chains can hold us.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
I hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
Here we got coverage, starts up, we go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
Wow, it's busy in one part of Florida all weekend. GoatLocker Racing takes the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series down south into Miami for round number 5 of the 2025 season. We got a fun one around the corner, an intermediate track with so many grooves. You don't want to miss out on it. Glad you could join us on this Wednesday night on Maconi Entertainment. Hopefully you got a bunch of screens on, including this one. Marty Sakala with you alongside Jeremy Briggs. Jeremy, a fun start here to the season, and we're looking forward to Homestead Miami Speedway here this evening.
Homestead Miami usually never disappoints. as it is in Homestead, Florida, opened in 1995. Of course, 4 turns, a mile and a half is the distance. Big sweeping turns, progressive banking. Which line are they going to run? Are they going to roll the bottom the whole race, or are they going to have to run up towards the top to save those tires? That is going to be the name of the game here tonight, here for GoatLocker Racing.
You take a look at the schedule here. Again, round number 5 of the season here before we go to our first Dash for Cash race 2 weeks time at Iowa Speedway. Then later on, we've got Atlanta, Gateway, Phoenix, and the Nashville, which closes out the regular season. Then we got 5 playoff races, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Speaking of the playoffs, here's a look at the playoff picture. After 4 races, we have 4 different winners on the season. Brandon Evans taking last week, dominating Watkins Glen International. And then you look at the drivers that are right now in the cut line via points. It's still anyone's game to make it in. So much competition going on right now here, Jeremy.
Extremely tight at that cut line. Every position will matter. You don't want to be involved in an incident here early on in the race, because that could be playoff ending, with the season winding down very quickly as we are getting ready for halfway through the season.
Absolutely. It's crazy to think that we are just about halfway through the regular season as we're ready to go. 22 drivers make up the field for round number 5 of the season. Let's take a look at your starting lineup for this evening. Ryan Pendleton takes the Jam Printing Pole Award, the number 23, his time 32.738. Next to him, George Jewell in the number 36. Patrick Drabick, James Kaufman making up row number 2. Then it's Brandon Evans, last week's winner, alongside Jesse Whittington, who was the season opening winner. That's row number 3. Timothy Williams next to the defending series champ Jason Taylor in row number 4. Rounding out your top 10, Tyler Justice and Charles Stevens, a pair of Chevys in row number 5. Give us positions 11 through 22 here, Jeremy.
Of course, right outside the top 10 right there, you got Michael Bennett, and he's outside in 12th. You got Levin McCarty starting in the 13th position. We've got Blake Edel in the 14th spot. We've got Jacob Ellingson 15th. You've got Eddie Smith 16th. It goes to Jeremy Gardner. 17th goes to Josh Lokenvitz. 18th, give that to Charles Abert. 19th starting position tonight, we got Bobby Germain. 20th starting spot, we got Tanner Bethia. 21st starting position, we got Logan Sturgeon. And 22nd, we got Corinne Smith.
Just waiting on one more driver to grid. That's Tanner Bethier before we can roll the drivers off here for a pace lap around Homestead Miami Speedway. Gives us a chance to take a look at our Maconi Setup Shop race analysis this evening. And I'm actually having some technical difficulties on that. 100 circuits around Homestead Miami Speedway this evening with 3 tire changes and no quick repairs. Fuel window just around 60 laps, so 1 pit stop in the making here tonight, as we're looking forward to, like I said, a lot of fun this evening. If you're watching on Maconi Entertainment on the YouTube channel, let us know who you're rooting for this evening. Love to chat alongside you guys this evening, whether we're under caution or under a long green flag run. No call for Tanner Bethia to grid, so he'll have to start from the pits as the drivers roll off onto the 1.5 mile oval for their lone pace lap. Jeremy, give us your keys to victory while we wait.
Strategy. When is going to be the right time to pit? Are you going to want to take that pit right at the halfway mark? Are you going to want to try and maybe pit a little early and short pit the field? Where are the cautions going to land? Are they going to play into that strategy play as well? We know these GoatLocker races have had a great lot of green flag racing. We'll have to see how it plays out tonight. We got a light fog, kind of makes it seem a little darker here than normal as we were checking it out earlier, and you can see it just in the distance there, just a slight fog here tonight, and we'll have to see how these drivers do with all the traction they're going to get with this nice and cool track.
Look at the onboard cameras here this evening. 4 drivers providing pictures on your screen. Jake Ellingson, Brandon Evans, Jesse Whittington, Patrick Drabick will be riding alongside this evening. Field making their way through turns number 3 and 4. We are just about set for the start of this one. Round 5 of the season. iRacing pace car turns onto pit road. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Pendleton and Jewell bring us to green. It's showtime in the 305.
as the Next Gen Cruisin Classics Series GoatLocker Racing League Next Gens zip down this backstretch. You can see everybody's already trying to figure out which lane they want to run. Look at all these cars. We got cars on the bottom of the track, cars on the top of the track. Which lane will be the one to be in? You want to keep that nose as clean as you can, as lap number 1 is complete, and Ryan Pendleton will lead that lap.
Pendleton, the Jam Printing and Performance Pole Award winner. Make sure you check them out for more details on social media. Top 3 all single file. First battle on track, the race for P4. Brandon Evans, who dominated last week at Watkins Glen International, leading just about every lap. He's got a challenge to the outside. Jesse Whittington trying to grab a spot inside the top 5 off of turn number 4. Whittington gets the advantage here. This is a track where, again, the grooves here, every groove here at Homestead Miami Speedway works very well here. You get the high side going, maybe get the low side going. It's kind of like a dirt track, but a lot longer than normal here, Jeremy.
And tire wear, tire temperatures is really when it's going to start playing the most. And I feel like when I'm on the bottom of the track here at Homestead, I feel like I burn my right rears up a lot more, and I'm just kind of shearing the car too much. So I like what Lyvan McCarty is doing here in the number 12. Just get up to that top and grip it and rip it.
Challenging downstairs, the big Ryan Blaney fan underneath on Brandon Evans as he moves up into the spot. James Kaufman, quickest driver on track. We got a race for the lead. Patrick Drabick challenging underneath on Ryan Pendleton's been so close to a win all season. Maybe he can do it. On board with George Jewell, gives the number 07 a little push down into turn number 3. He get on the throttle first. Pendleton sideways. He saw the rear end lose it there in turn number 4. The 07 to the point on lap number 5.
Drabeck to the lead. Pendleton now to second, but George Jewell going to be all over the back bumper of that 23 here very shortly as those two drivers were side by side. George Jewell was trying to put his name in the bucket as we look further on throughout the field there. You got Jesse Whittington and James Kaufman right here battling side by side. Lyvan McCarty trying to go up to the top to make it 3 wide out of turn 4.
Can he go high, wide, and handsome off for turn number 4? Decides to play it safe than sorry. Gives a little bit of a push to Jesse Whittington. McCarty right now, quickest car on the track after a 32.79 couple laps ago. Now wanting that 4th spot on Jesse Whittington. McCarty started 12th in this race, already up 7 spots with the 2 drivers up that many spots. The other driver, Eddie Smith in the 87, who is up 7 into 8th. Here comes the 19, Michael Bennett, new paint job. That turquoise Bennett number 19 underneath on Kaufman. Is the 6th spot his? Yes, it is for right now. So much good racing around Homestead Miami early, especially up near the front. McCarty giving Jewell a bump draft into turn number 1. Now test out the top side. The risky part with using the top here early, Jeremy, you're obviously getting a lot more time on the throttle, but you're using up your tires too at the same time.
We'll have to see how it plays out here longer in this run, as I feel like sometimes the progressive banking, once you're up there, the banking kind of helps you maybe save your tires, but right now he's not running up against the wall like you traditionally would see them up in a cup race, because you get too close to that wall and it'll suck you right in, and a huge shot to the back bumper of the 23 Pendleton.
Yeah, that was a big bump draft towards the 23. Had a dead center as he looks for the run off for turn 2. May try for the 2 for 1. Man, Pendleton tried to slam the door, but McCarty was right there around the outside. P2 is his. Maybe he'll go for a shot at the race lead. Let's talk about this outside line here. Drivers talk about the high side at Homestead Miami a lot. The reason why, and Anthony Alfredo has talked about this on iRacing from time to time, there's a little aero cushion, a little air bubble that works out really well, Jeremy. Maybe you can explain a little bit more about it.
Yeah, that you get the air bubble on that right side of the car. It kind of helps you not put so much wheel in it, and it helps you carry speed down the straightaways and less turning, less, you know, you're not using your wheels, so you're not scrubbing those tires. That's the word I was looking for. We're scrubbing speed. You don't scrub the speed on top as we have a change for the lead.
McCarty's car on rails early, takes the lead with 9 laps complete in the 100-lap showdown. Drabick may let the 12 have his pace. Nope, Drabick trying to fight back in that 07 as McCarty pushed up a little bit. Can the 07 ride take it back off for turn number 2? It's a drag race down the backstreet in Miami.
That's the first time I think I've seen all race Levy McCarty now up in the 3rd lane as he moves back there, going through turns 3 and 4 this time, as he maybe tried to start managing his tires that last time by on the bottom, as he's now side by side for the lead. This time he'll lead that lap.
And McCarty credited by just about 100th of a second there at the start-finish line. He's the only driver utilizing the top. Do you think other drivers underneath are just trying to play it safe than sorry here, Jeremy? Just save their tires, just utilize the bottom here?
It's honestly a really good question right now, as we'll see the number 12 now go to the bottom. Looks like he did what he wanted to do, and that was just a very loose situation right there. I'm not sure if the 07 packing air on that bumper had anything to do with it, but that was the first time I think Levy's been on the bottom this whole race.
I think McCarty tried to get on the throttle and just got way too sideways there. Nice job making the catch, especially with the rack and pinion steering. A lot tougher to save a next-gen car than it is with a Gen 6. Once again, side by side, and George Jewell catching the top 2 with a little bit of an air toe off of the 07. How about this? Your top 6 cars under a blanket for the race lead here early, Jeremy.
Great start to this race. Like you said, we got a 6-car battle right here. All these drivers put on all different lines right now. Which one's the right one? I feel like Levy McCarty's in the right lane, but we'll have to see how that plays out on the tire wear. He's not running up as high as you think he normally would. Drebeck blocked him.
Yeah, Drebeck, that was a risky block. McCarty made some contact with the rear bumper. Everybody hanging on to it for right now. Take a ride on board with the 07 and Patrick Dave Drebeck. We'll ride in car with them. You can see he's looking at a couple of things at the same time. Even that rear view mirror, they stay side by side into turn number 1. And McCarty sends it in deep. He's got the lead back. What a start here at Homestead.
07's going to try and drive down the hill and make it side by side, back down the backstretch. Like you said, this is some great racing here early on.
We got a side-by-side race for 3rd as well. Pendleton trying to take the spot back from George Jewell. Look at this, the race for lead, the race for 3rd may go 3 wide off for turn 4 if Bennett decides to get a little risky in the background. As McCarty continues to lead. You know, one thing I noticed as well while we were riding on board with the 07 of Drebeck, and we'll show this going into turn number 3, or maybe not here as McCarty pushes up once again, Drebeck to the point. Seeing some drivers shift down from 5th to 4th here, just trying to get some better acceleration in the corner, I would have to guess here. Let's ride on board here again. Yep,
yeah,
he stayed
like
4th gear.
Just popping it every time it goes into the turn, and then he does it on the exit. Looks up in his mirror, knows he's going to be clear. Says, do what you want here, because he knows he's going to get loose on that bottom. And you'll see him just a little quick right there, a little blip going into the turn, downshift it, and try to accelerate off. He turns really good down the hill and has really good exits.
We're seeing a lot of crossovers, and now we're seeing a lot of drivers decide to test out the top shelf. Jesse Whittington, Daytona winner in the 94, has made his way up to P4, now wants the 3rd spot from Pendleton. Good gosh almighty, we've got some racing early here, and it's only lap 16. Drivers are battling like it's for the win here on Maconi Entertainment.
Look just a little bit farther back there, got Jacob Ellingson. He's battling side by side there with James Kaufman. They're all right there on the edge of the top 10. You've got Tyler Justice involved and Jeremy Gardner just on the outside of the top 10 trying to crack his way in.
And this just shows you why the next gen is just so good at intermediate tracks in real life. McCarty back upstairs. Meanwhile, Whittington has made his way up to P3. May set and will try to set his sights up next on your top 2. Drebeck edging out. McCarty at the stripe. Take you on board here with the 94 of Jesse Whittington. And Jesse's my man here tonight. In the background, he got no NASCAR qualifying. He's got dirt car nationals on. That's my guy. I'm a dirt racing fanatic here. And I know you are too, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. He knows exactly what he's got to put on the right show right there in the background to keep him occupied.
Oh! Woo! Touch the apron there.
Right there. Yeah.
And the save, yeah, you cannot be touching this apron here at Homestead Miami Speedway. It will not pay off one bit, that's for sure.
Ooh, speaking of touching, Jacob Alexson and James Coffin still
Ooh.
side by side back here, almost touching each other going into 4.
And speaking of touching, some sparks flying off that 94. He scraped the wall for just a moment. He may have actually gained some speed off of turn number 2. Right now, he's the fastest car on the track. Picked up a 10th last time by on both Patrick and Levi. Jeremy?
I don't think we've had a race yet. We have not had Jesse Whittington up in the broadcast booth for a podium interview yet this season.
Nope, he won at Daytona earlier this season and finished second in that really close finish earlier this year to the 87 of Eddie Smith.
That was a wild race too.
Yeah, it's the one at Auto Club. You know, Auto Club kind of gives you that familiarity of Homestead Miami. Just the big difference is Homestead Miami is a lot banked as well, because I think Auto Club, if I recall correctly, and I've never been to Auto Club either, I believe they've got that progressive banking too.
Yes, yep. And as you can see, the two players that are always in the name of the game here, Jesse Whittington doing a great job, roll in the middle. He's got his sights all over the back bumper there of that number 12 of Levy McCarty. As McCarty gets a great run on the outside, out to the outside for the lead.
McCarty trying to pull off the same move Tyler Reddick did to Ryan Blaney last fall in the Cup Series playoffs, but he pushes up really tight once again. I wonder if that car is going to do a lot more of that here because of how much tire he used early.
Definitely going to want to keep an eye on that as we are now 22 laps into this run. This has been 22 laps. Oh, contact between Whittington and Pendleton.
Look at this, 3 wide for third, fourth. I don't know how many spots they were 3 wide for, but it's double wide for second here. And oh, Eddie Smith, oh, contact with the 36, and around he goes, collects Whittington, and a bunch more. First yellow flag waves here at Homestead.
Oh, more involved.
You could just see that coming, Jeremy, with how hard they were racing at the same time. You got Jewell, Whittington, Ellingson. Jermaine was involved in the back.
Some big names involved in this.
Gonna get you a replay here. We're gonna watch here from the aerial camera and show you what went down here in the first yellow. Just watch the 87 of Smith here. Tries to slot down in front of that 36 right there, and they just slightly touch. And Bennett Whittington all with nowhere to go, and same with Ellingson. A 6-pack involved here early.
That was 6-pack. You can see he was trying Jewell was trying everything he could to stop wrecking him, and unfortunately the car's behind him. It just happened so quick, and pit road is very busy down here.
Yeah,
looks like the whole field is down.
We'll go to onboards here in just a moment, but yes, first pit stop for the drivers here tonight. Remember, they've got 3 sets of tires here tonight that they can use, and I would have to guess that they're probably using all 4 on this first stop.
I would definitely go with all 4. I'm sure one driver that's really ready for this is Patrick Drabeck. He's been trying his best to battle up hard up front. Evan McCarty, one of the drivers that started kind of farther back in the field, made a great run up to the 3rd position. He's probably excited to get some fresh rubber on his car as well.
So let's go to some onboards here. As Drabeck wins the race off pit road over Pendleton and McCarty. This is George Jewell.
Oh, man. All of a sudden, Eddie Smith was there. You can see he's just trying his hardest to stop from wrecking even more. Just unfortunately in one of those spots.
Taylor won't be too pleased seeing 2 of her race cars all torn up. Here's Jesse Whittington.
I guess I jinxed that one. Talk about how Whittington was
Big hit.
talking to us all season long, and unfortunately not this race.
This is Jake Ellingson, who was running mid-pack. Actually made some contact with the 25 there for a moment of James Kaufman, and yeah, committed up high, nowhere to go. Those
2 drivers were bad. Oh, Bobby Germain, I think, came in real late there. But yeah, those two drivers of Kaufman and Ellingson were touching doors lap after lap there. That first run is the field is now doubled up, thinned out a little bit here, getting ready to come back to the green.
Real quick before we go back to green, a big hello to those of you watching at Nasty's Bar and Grill, co-sponsor of Wednesday's Next Gen Series. Hope you're having a delicious, mouth-watering burger or some. I hope they got chicken wings there, because I'm from Buffalo. I take my chicken wings very seriously.
That sounds so good right now.
Yes, that does sound good. Anyway, coming back to green for the restart. Patrick Drabick, Ryan Pendleton, Tyler Justice up to fourth now. McCarty third, James Kaufman rounds out the top five. We're ready to come back to the green flag after our first caution flag of the evening. Barney's got the green flag in hand. We've completed a quarter of this race. Back to green.
Ooh, Kaufman shoots up the track there.
Pushed up tight in the wall.
So far, so good. We'll see what the memo is going to be with these drivers. Now they got their fresh tires, full tanks, and a deep breath.
I wonder if this may be the yellow you want if you're Levi McCarty, immediately wasting no time up top. Tyler Justice following him. And how about Jeremy Gardner? Haven't talked about him yet. Darlington winner a couple weeks ago. Now up 12 spots, started 16th. He's running the fourth position. Is the field all single file as he shuts the door on Tyler Justice. Ooh, McCarty using that aero cushion that we talked about earlier.
Jeremy Gardner, one of those drivers, probably happy to see that caution. He got quite a few spots from that, as you can see here, now in the top five.
On board with the number 57 Chevy. So after that wreck, we lost Jesse Whittington, George Jewell, Jake Ellingson, Bobby Germain, Michael Bennett, Josh Lokenwitz in that one. Those latter two on the pits, hoping to get the damage repaired and maybe see if they can get some spots, hopefully, but I think that's as high as they're going to go in this one. Tanner Bethier, Logan Sturgeon pulled off the racetrack early in the race. Oh, man, he saw the 33, had to check up to avoid hitting Jeremy Gardner. James Kaufman trying to take advantage of that in that Doge ride.
James Kaufman, that orange machine's been side by side almost all night long here, just trying to march up the ladder. Right now, finding himself now in the top five as he was battling for the top 10 prior to that caution. So that caution, very beneficial to that 25 machine.
You know, we've seen McCarty, meanwhile, he's been sticking it to the bottom here ever since this restart. I think he may have learned his lesson. I think he's probably considering saving a lot more tires here compared to on the first run in case we get maybe another long run here.
But the good news is his strategy of being really aggressive in that first run gained him quite a few spots to find himself now up on the podium battling for the win.
Take a look for the aerial shot. A lot of drivers hugging the apron down in all forms of the corner. You know, one driver that's been very quiet in this race that I'm surprised we've yet to talk about in this race, a pair of drivers. Brandon Evans, last week's winner at Watkins Glen, riding in the 9th spot, and also the defending series champion, Jason Taylor, started in the 8th spot. He's lost 3. He's down in 11th.
Very good points there, Marty. Some of the drivers that we've seen towards the front kind of laying back here as Brandon Evans just gets another spot there, puts himself now into the 8th position. Continue to make a slowly but surely a march to the front.
That's Charles Stevens in the 84 trying to crisscross into turns number 3 and 4. See if it's his off the corner. Stevens, nice job playing defense, holding back that 8th position, but here we go, another crisscross. 39 car trying to get it back.
Driving it in really deep, trying everything he can do to get it to stick right there, especially with all that dirty air on his nose. He's going to make it stick, but once again, the high line's going to have the momentum. Looks like not going to be able to get back to the back bumper, though, as that pass is going to be completed.
Look at the top
Look back up front.
The top 13, 14 cars here. Get you a nice thick shot here off of turn 4. Take a look at this. That's all the cars on the lead lap on the racetrack, all together. Thought we were at Homestead, Miami, not Daytona.
Hey, that means it's anybody's race right now.
Save the single file train for dual night tomorrow. I mean, what a start we've had in this one. Evans getting another spot on Tyler Justice around the top shelf as he moves up to the 7th position, and Stevens trying to take advantage of that too, looking underneath the 33 car.
Trying to make those passes happen, trying to move towards the front. Like we said, we didn't talk about him too often. As soon as we brought up his name, he's just been getting one spot at a time.
Justice still trying to get the top shelf to work. Not doing anything there. Meanwhile, James Kaufman, the drivers that dodged that incident, tested the bottom waters there on the 57 of Gardner. Nothing he could do, stays put in 5th position. Meanwhile, everyone chasing after your race leader, the 07, Patrick Drabick. And we've rode a lot tonight from the rear end of the 07. Let's take you on board with the 12 of McCarty. Let's ride along here for a lap or so, just to see the patience right now in this race is. We're 34 laps complete in this one.
Yeah, that first run, Marty, it felt like we were racing like it was the last lap, the final 10 laps, and what a difference that first wreck kind of changed the memo of the field. We've really calmed down as the 12 machine all over the back bumper of the 23.
Look at the gear box as well. A lot of drivers shifting downward to 4th. We saw it on board with the 07 of Drabick. Carty's doing the same thing too.
Drabick using that clean air to his advantage. He's been doing really great. Just kind of managing himself here on this run. Just kind of slowly but surely pulls away just a little bit. Those cars behind him, they obviously are using the draft together, and they kind of are going to shoot up to his back bumper and just kind of ride it out.
Look at Kaufman challenging on Gardner. Can he slot into 4th? Yes, he can. Let's see if Gardner tries to cross over here off of turn number 2, because that's what we've seen a lot of here. Ooh, the 25 gets sideways off the corner, got back on the gas a little early. See if Gardner can use this to his advantage. Blake Gatto coming into the picture. He's been quiet in this race. Started 13th up to 6th.
A lot of drivers going to capitalize on some big points tonight if they can make it to the end here. Especially with a lot of big names drivers that were up towards the top of points, not going to be able to get good points tonight. So you want to capitalize on that as you got the Levi McCarty machine back up against the wall and making his charge for the lead.
Yep, Levi says it's top time. Up to 2nd, past Pendleton. Can the lead be his off of turn number 4? On board with the 23 of Pendleton. Doesn't know which way to go. If McCarty keeps the top here, ooh, a little bit sideways. Now tries to, contact between him and the 07. I think it was trying to side draft, but they trade Payne across the line. McCarty back out front.
I think they call it trading wraps these days.
Trading wraps too.
But as you can see, it looked like both drivers were maybe trying to side draft each other, and unfortunately, they both side drafted all the same spot.
And now
Drabick
McCarty
just sends it.
Tiptoeing through 3 and 4. He was fishtailing it. Drabick says, not so fast, my friend. The 07 stays out in front. Pendleton trying to get in the thick of things, but I wonder if he's thinking with what's been going on this last lap, he may want to be patient here, because this top 2 is racing like they could take each other out here.
Just like that, we're back to racing like it's the final lap. We're just 10 laps away from the halfway point. Look no further also, right there at the edge of the top 5, you got the teammates of Jeremy Gardner and Brandon Evans making their charge to the front.
Yeah, the 2 with Dominic a couple weeks ago at Darlington. Evans led the most laps in that race. So you ride on board with them. Watch him grab a gear here. If he decides to do that, I don't know if he's using the H pattern or if he's using the paddle shifters.
Oh, look at his hands.
Look how bumpy it is too with that motion rig.
Oh yeah, that's what it feels like in real life. Wow, so much happening around him. That really puts in perspective how hard these drivers got to race. Speaking of how hard they got to race, McCarty out front in front of Drabick. We'll see if Drabick can make a decision to get back around McCarty.
Yep, he's got the 07 clear here as we're 40 laps complete. Lap time's fading a lot here. Your race leader, best lap 32.57, now down to a 33.09. Well, he was in the draft. A lot of other drivers have been consistently running 33.0s, best laps on fresh tires, 32.7s, 32.8s. So the fall off is there. Something we should talk about too here, Jeremy, what lap they pitted on. Thinking of this long term, we're on lap number 42. The driver's pitting on lap 23 would not be enough to go the distance. So the fuel window here is open, which makes me kind of wonder here, will the drivers go up to lap 83 or so, or do they maybe try and split in half up to maybe lap 80? It's hold on, Derek. James Kaufman once again sideways off for turn number 2. That's been his weakness on the day. And look at Jeremy Gardner threading the needle.
Oh, Blake Otto sees the blood in the water. He's going to pounce on that as well. Kaufman been having his hands full all night long, but right now, just right here on the edge of the top 5, edge of just top 10, and doing a good job managing that. We'll see if he can rebound there, but as we look at Brandon Evans trying to grip and rip the top right now.
Oh boy, man, he's using that aero cushion to his advantage, hugging that safer barrier, clears Gardner up to the 4th spot. Let's go back to the top 3. Are they nose to tail? Pendleton following the top 2. Your biggest movers of the race, let's talk about them right now. McCarty up 11, Gardner up 11. Third biggest mover, Blake Gatto in the Lucas Oil 18, up 7 into 6th. Corinne Smith in the number 10 Toyota up 8 into 14th, and they got a pair of drivers up. Actually, nope. Check that. Eddie Smith just gained a spot up 6 spots. He's now into 9th.
You mentioned there Corinne Smith. She's been right there, just kind of cruising along, getting great experience, doing a great job making laps out here with the field, making good laps too.
She's just trying to keep her nose clean in that number 10.
Well, a lot of these cars out here that are front runners having trouble. She capitalized on there and gained quite a few positions. She could have a decent points night.
Kaufman pushing tight up the hill once again, opens the door for Charles Stevens. See if he can grab another spot. This is the race for P7. Saw Kaufman kiss the wall down the back.
Kaufman, that bright orange machine, you can't miss it.
Almost made contact with the 84.
Oh, contact with the wall.
He reacted to that and kissed the front stretch wall this time. Eddie Smith watching closely and thinking, I don't want to be involved in another wreck here tonight. Kaufman pushing tight. His car's in trouble.
I don't know if he burned up his tires here earlier on in this run or something, or the contact ball bent something, but he is definitely bleeding right now, and it's not stopping.
Timothy Wilms looking to take away a spot in his Toyota. Still McCarty out in front. You notice what he's trying to do here down the straights. And I wonder if he may be trying to practice this for late in the race. Was he just trying to break the draft there off of Patrick Drabick?
That's a good question, but it kind of seems like he's driving away, but I feel like Drabeck gets that help from behind. That's going to pull him in closer, but right now, Brian Pendleton really putting the heat on for position number 2.
Lap time's just about identical in the battle for the lead. Pendleton has been a little bit slower compared to Patrick Drabick because of that dirty air. Time Pendleton picking up about 2/10 that last time through.
Nice little green flag run here. Coming to the halfway mark, a couple laps away. What are these drivers going to do? Like you said there, Marty, are we going to decide to split this run in half? It's definitely got a green feel to it.
Yep, drivers have matched the green flag run to start off the race. Had just over 20 laps before our first yellow flew for the George Jewell incident that collected Jesse Whittington, Michael Bennett, bunch of cars involved here. Pendleton, meanwhile, trying to look underneath on Drabick for P2. That doesn't work. Brandon Evans now has caught up to 2nd and 3rd. Trying to play it safe than sorry for right now. Just have to see. But McCarty opened up a gap here. 3.5 tenths the gap on Patrick Drabick. Here we go. Pendleton for P2.
Looks like some of these drivers, after that caution, found a way to maybe save a little bit more tire there. Is Drabeck now losing a couple spots after leading quite a few laps here early on, as we're now past the, or on the halfway mark.
Yep.
Got Levy McCarty there as your leader. Ryan Pendleton 2nd, Drabeck 3rd, Brandon Evans 4th, Jeremy Gardner 5th.
Yeah, let's go through a full field rundown as we're halfway. That's your top 5. Blake Yettle 6th, Charles Stevens 7th, Eddie Smith 8th, Timothy Wilms 9th, James Kaufman is about to take away that spot. Wilms down to 10th, Tyler Justice 11th, Jason Taylor, the defending series champ. Not been a fun night for him so far. Down in 12th position. He'll be getting ready for the full-length Cup Challenge 500. Saturday night you can watch here on Maconi Entertainment at, I believe, 8:30 the start time for that. Charles Hebert in 15th. Corinne Jones, final car in the lead lap in 14th. Josh Lokenvitz back on track in 15th, 10 laps down. Michael Bennett 16, just about 15 down, I should say, correction. Lokenvitz 10 down. Bennett in 16th. Couple cars out of the race. Jesse Whittington, George Jewell, Jacob Ellingson, Bobby Germain, Tanner Bethia, and Logan Sturgeon. Pendleton for the race lead.
And we're side by side for 3rd and 4th as well. As Pendleton's going to make that pass. Make it look really easy.
Evans off at turn 2, meanwhile, working with Gardner, as I think Drabick's starting to save a little bit. Maybe the same for McCarty. The Premier Racing setups, Operation Valor Racing drivers, 3rd and 5th respectively at the moment. And now Evans all over the rearview mirror of Levi McCarty. And they're touching for 4th at the line.
Whew. Wicked tight battling for every position out here. Every position matters. We know we have to probably pit one more time. So you want to make sure you can take every position you can right here and set yourself up for a potential green flag pit stop.
Evans now says it's time to cook, and Jeremy Gardner following him. Let's see what the two can do up on Ryan Pendleton. As we are 54 laps complete here in a 100-lap feature. I tell you what we're going to do here. Ryan Pendleton out in front. Going to step aside here, pay some bills while we're at it, but we're going to take you side by side. You're not going to miss a thing. If trouble breaks out, we'll break in. Stay with us on Maconi Entertainment.
I highly recommend it. You won't find anybody as good as Jam Printing.
Jam is a friendly and professional company that just doesn't do print to make sure that you grow and your business grows to the next level.
They are a very community-focused organization. They donate to every event in the area.
Every time I hand out one of Jam's printed materials, I get a ton of compliments, and that's the power of Jam Printing.
One thing with Jam is it is a veteran-owned company, and that really resonates with me.
Jam Printing is like no other. Their dedication to customer service is amazing.
If you're looking to amp up your marketing, Jam Printing and Promotions is the place to go.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
X terms are equal. The graphs of the two lines will be parallel.
You ready to get out of here? Let's go. Come on. Lincoln Tech, the school for people who hate.
Back here at Homestead Miami Speedway as we are in the final stages approaching 40 laps to go here, though, so not really the final stages, but could be approaching pit stops soon here. We're seeing drivers starting to save tires. Ryan Pendleton, your race leader, after taking the lead from Levi McCarty. You got Brandon Evans second, Jeremy Gardner third, McCarty fourth, Drabick fifth. Glad you could join us here on Maconi Entertainment. Marty Scala with you alongside Jeremy Briggs. Reminder, we are off next Wednesday night. But don't forget to join us here on 2 weeks from now. Dash for Cash race at Iowa Speedway, February 26th. Same start time, 8:30 p.m. on your home for the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series, Maconi Entertainment. Got some good racing happening here mid-pack. Blake Edel, Eddie Smith in the battle for 6th position here, Jeremy.
I gotta say, I'm kind of sad. I didn't know we had next week off. I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm glad we got the real racing going back. I'm definitely gonna miss the GoatLocker racing, but right now on the track, it's been some action all race long. You can see right there Eddie Smith, who was involved in an incident early on, making his charge back to the front. Blake Edel doing a good job making his way back to the front.
I know my plans for next Wednesday. It's hockey night. No Sabres game, high school hockey.
There you go. Perfect timing.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Evans and Gardner, they have caught up to your race leader. You see, look at the last 5 laps here. Evans a lot quicker in 3 of the last 5, and I think we're starting to see some pit stops. Timothy Wilms, first driver in on pit road, but we'll see if any of the front runners follow suit. And you'll be starting to see the pit stop times at the bottom of your screen. We'll focus on them for you when we get to them.
Definitely time. Go ahead.
How do you set this up here if you're Brandon Evans, potentially? Do you just wait for Pendleton to make a mistake, or do you just go for it?
The way Evans has been driving, I think Evans can come out here and make the passes. It gets a little bit looser on the exit of 2. But I feel like these two teammates have really marched their way to the front. They do a really good job of working together, and I think it shows right here. That's why they're running 2nd and 3rd, and they're giving Pendleton a mirror. We'll see what their pit strategies are. As it looks like Evans, though, might be struggling a little bit right now.
Absolutely. He faded a little bit to Ryan Pendleton that last lap. Race leader picking up 2/10 on the 39. Now let's talk about the 2 drivers that have led the most laps here on the day. Patrick Drabick in 4th, Levi McCarty in 7th. They faded back a lot once the 23 took the race lead. I wonder if they could be possibly maybe setting up an undercut strategy potentially, where they try to pit earlier and try and get that gap to make up here.
Drivers are only going to need just a couple gallons to get to the end, but they're definitely going to want to grab those tires, because that'll put a huge advantage to them right now, as we've almost lost a second.
Oh, McCarty's around.
In the wall. He's wrecked.
McCarty is out of it unless he gets a yellow flag. What on earth just happened to the 12 car? The wheels are, you see the wheels, hard to the left. Something tells me he may have had a controller issue.
Man, unfortunate.
Let's go to a replay. He has towed it back to the pits. Here's a look. Nope, he got yeeted. Tyler Justice got him, and oh, attenuator head. Bam.
Nowhere's to go.
Let's ride on board with the rear end of the 12. You know what? I wonder if McCarty actually was going to come into pit road there, and Tyler Justice just did not get the memo.
Yeah, definitely can see what you're saying there. It looks like he was definitely backing up his entry to come down pit road, and one of our front runners gonna find his night now over.
One of the drivers that would have been key to win this one this evening. So now Evans and Gardner trying to make some time up. Patrick Drabick now in 4th. And how about Jason Taylor? First time tonight, he's cracked the top 5 this evening. Starting to show the long run speed in that untied you-know-what scheme.
I remember the night he brought that up. I didn't even notice it.
I know, yeah, we never noticed it until he brought that up for us. Can you go see that paint scheme? You can see on his windshield, he's got the FLCC stickers full-length Cup Challenge. We also broadcast that on Maconi Entertainment. The big one, FLCC 500, this Saturday night on Maconi Entertainment. Do not miss out on that. That's one that's going to be well worth watching. The drivers go 100% full Cup length, so that race will be a 200-lap, 500-mile race, and we'll have stages. Pit stops underway. Drabeck sliding there, just makes it in. You got to be careful here on the apron because it's very slippery coming on in. Doesn't have that much grip to it.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky trying to come down this pit road, especially with these hot, slick tires. Gonna have to make you got to downshift correctly. You got to press the right amount of brakes. You don't want to slide those tires, and unfortunately, you got to watch out for the drivers behind you. As you saw there with Levin McCarty, drivers behind you don't know you're pitting. They're just gonna be coming hot. As
Pendleton
Ryan
also
Pendleton,
in.
our leader, is now on pit road.
Evans out, 14-second stop. Drabeck slow out on pit road, but a 15-4 for the driver of the 07. Let's watch the race leader, Ryan Pendleton. James Kaufman also in on pit road. You see the track map on your screen on where your favorite drivers are. We show that during the long runs. Gardner, your race leader, should expect him maybe this time, if not next time by.
As the pit window is open, everybody making their pits. This should take us to the end, bearing another caution.
Blake Edel now in the number 18. I think we know who he's going to be rooting for this week in the Daytona 500, hoping that Rowdy gets it in his 20th try. So while we wait for the rest of the leaders to come on to pit road, Jeremy Gardner leading, 4-second gap on Jason Taylor. In fact, this is the biggest lead anyone has had under a green flag run tonight. Charles Stevens now on pit road in the 84. Adel just came out, 14-6 second stop. Take a look at the pit strategy, what lap the drivers are on. They're on lap number 40 of their stint. So they cut it just over half. I didn't expect them really to go the full distance. Stevens on pit road, working on the left sides. Kaufman out, had a longer stop. Wonder if he sped on pit road possibly, which that's with the longer situation. Let's go back up to the lead with Jeremy Gardner. No key battles on the racetrack at the moment as drivers are just trying to set up here for pit stops. Meanwhile, we can tell you this, Pendleton came out in front of Brandon Evans. So this could be the race for your race lead right here, Jeremy.
Watching these true drivers duke it out here right after a quick pit stop. We're coming to, I believe, 26 laps to go as our leader of Jeremy Gardner down pit road. I also got to say, I'm quite surprised that Brandon Evans and Jeremy Gardner did not pit at the same time being teammates. So must be one sees something that the other does not.
You've got as well Justice in. Taylor is also in. Now we'll watch the pit road exit here and see who comes out successful. This could be a key thing. Gardner out a 15-second stop even. We'll watch Taylor and Justice as they come out. Nice stop for Taylor, goes 14-6. I think Justice with a little longer stop here. Eddie Smith now in. Justice goes 14-2. Eddie Smith now approaches pit road in the ATYO 87. Give a shout to Taylor Kitchen. She's covering the Daytona 500 this weekend for ATYO and Racing America. Go follow her coverage this weekend. So this puts out in front. And I love this too for her. Corinne Smith leading this one. Getting some TV time out in front of this field.
Just been steady and surely just chugging along here. Doing a great job here. 25 laps to go. Gonna have herself a good run going here tonight. Possibly a top 12.
So the exit on pit road, Gardner fades back to fourth. But remember, he's got a couple laps of fresher Goodyears compared to Pendleton, Evans, and Drabeck.
All different kinds of strategies out here right now, and the driver is different by just a couple laps here and there, and which one's going to be the right one is going to be the next question.
All eyes, though, point towards the battle for the race lead with 24 laps remaining. Evans looking low on Pendleton. Pulls up to the quarter panel. A drag race down the back as Evans tries to stay even in the corner. Can the 39 put it out in front for the first time tonight?
Oh, almost contact right there. Off
they
of turn
bang.
4. Oh, there it was.
Yeah, you could blame
Heavy
that on
side
netcode.
wrapping.
You could blame that on netcode at the same time. I think I may have seen some error between the top two. This could allow the rest of the field to close in. Patrick Drabick third, 4 seconds back. Ooh, Evans trying everything. He lifts there.
Evans has got his hands full. I saw him come off of 2. That rear end of that car was all over the place. He is driving as hard as he can right now, trying to get to that back bumper and get around Ryan Pelton for that lead.
Now he gets the draft here down the front. May help him out or may not possibly. Still waiting on Corinne Smith to pit, and if she gets a yellow flag, she won't be out in front, but she'll have a lot of fresher Goodyear rubber, which could be something big. We'll just have to see. But this is the battle for the provisional lead.
How's this all going to shape out? Well, we're 20 laps away from finding out. This is going to be one of those races that's going to come right down to the wire as we've got a battle right here.
Evans looks
Side by
low.
side.
Back in car with the 39 once again. Look how much air between the two doors. Oh boy, that's tight.
They know exactly what they're racing for right here.
35 miles remaining at the line, 20 laps to go at Homestead, Miami. Pendleton and Evans, the two battling for this one. Unless a yellow silk were to fly. Look at Evans in car, driving it in deep with that 39. What a pass over the 23. A lot like Logano did to Truex in 2018 for the championship. And Evans out in front.
Question is, what is Pendleton going to be able to do here? Can he figure out a way to get his tires cooled off and making our charge at it? But Evans seems to be pulling away just ever so slightly, as these two drivers are now only 6 seconds away from the number 10 of Corinne Smith.
Oh, look at the last few laps here. You can see Evans better in 4 the last 5. Let's go back to the race for third here. Remember Gardner with the freshest tires amongst those out in front, and you can say the same for the number 60, not in the screen. Gardner still P3 provisionally, but yes, your top two approaching Corinne Smith with 18 laps to go. Again, just trying to get some laps let out here tonight. There's Corinne right there in the number 10. She's been playing her quiet, keeping her nose clean. A good run for her this evening. This is the battle for P7. Jason Taylor, Eddie Smith, both of them pitting at the same time. In fact, Jesse, Eddie Smith right now, the freshest tires amongst everyone inside the top 10 until we see Corinne Smith come down for her pit stop. Evans, though, meanwhile, still trying to open up a small gap on the number 23 car here, Jeremy.
One driver I think we might want to keep our eye on right here is the 57 of Jeremy Gardner, running almost a tenth faster. Jeremy Gardner's just about a tenth faster.
Fantastic point. Look at that.
And he's
2 to 3
closing in.
tenths quicker.
I know he's a ways. Oh, Corinne Smith in the wall.
Yep, Smith
I
in
know
the wall.
So now gives the lead back to Brandon Evans. I know he's a ways away, but there is time.
Yes, he has a lot of time to work. 5 laps can make a difference here in this race.
I know we don't see him in the camera shot, but he's closing.
There's your top two. Gardner just made the pass for third. Smith on pit road. in the witching hour of this one, folks. You don't want to move one bit. This could come down to the wire here like it did last season at Charlotte and like it did earlier this year at Auto Club. It's the intermediates. They're just so dang good, Jeremy.
They really are. This next gen is really awesome on these intermediate tracks, and this is exactly why. You know what else is really good on tracks is GoatLocker Racing, and this is another example of how great this league really is. Absolutely tons of green flag racing tonight.
Yeah, while we were at it, as we're watching this race for the lead still, Pendleton trying to close on 39. Evans shuts the door there once again. Let's give shouts to a couple of other sponsors here real quick. Without them, none of it's possible, including Maconi Saddle Shop, Maconi Entertainment, Glove Station, Cruisin Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, Operation Valor Racing, Red Beard Design Company, iRacing, and Above the Yellow Line Media. We appreciate their support for everything that they have done with GoatLocker Racing and just a bunch more as well.
GoatLocker's mission is really great. They attach so much of the sim stuff to real life, and that's really what it's all about, is giving back to real life and making a difference in real life. And that's one thing I really enjoy about GoatLocker is they do a lot of good.
12 to go here in Miami. And you look closely there, that small car in the background. That's Jeremy Garner. He's under 3 seconds behind on the top two. I got a really good feeling that 57's going to catch them both.
I don't think he's going to, because the times have just evened out right here. I'm not sure what happened. It's like the dirty air from Corinne Smith's car being near him, and he really hasn't been able to really gain any much since then.
He's still been faster in 3 of the last 5 laps. 2 of them, he's been dead even. Let's see how much he puts down this time by. Cuts down to 10.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit, yep. He's trying.
Yeah, he's trying here, but I think it's that gap would be at 1.4 about by the time this race were to end. So it's I don't think he'd catch him, but he's going to need a caution most likely.
Hey, and these two drivers up front, though, they're driving hard. A lot can happen.
But I will tell you this, though. Pitting late has worked for a couple of drivers. Jason Taylor likely going to finish in the top 5 by the end of this one. After a start to the race that was horrific for him. Outside the top 10 in a lot of this race tonight. So it's worked out well for him. Eddie Smith, same for him. Was involved in that wreck earlier on lap 20 or so. And now he has recovered to the 6th position. Nice run for him at the moment. Could see Tyler Justice. He's cracked the top 10. He could get past both Charles Stevens and Blake Gettle, but he's on 3 laps of fresher tires. This, though, is what all eyes are on. 9 laps to go. Brandon Evans, Ryan Pendleton. Pendleton looking for win 1 of the season. Evans looking to go back-to-back. He won 2 weeks ago. Won last week at Darlington.
This is some awesome racing here. I'm back on the edge of my seat. We've had 100 laps, 2 cautions, and we're batting for the lead. Nose to tail, coming to 8 laps to go.
This is some awesome stuff here. 8 laps remaining. Now, how do you do this if you're Evans? You're going to break the draft? You're going to play some defense here possibly? I don't think he's mirror driving. I think all eyes are focused up front. Just run your line, run where you're good at. Ooh, really Evans may have caught the wall there, watching that onboard.
It was close.
Very close. Seven remain.
7 intense laps here for Brandon Evans. What is he going to do with the Save 22 machine?
This is going to be the longest
Operation
7
Valor,
laps.
Premier Step Shops. Yep.
This is going to be the longest 7 laps here for Brandon Evans, without question. He did have a close opponent. Oh, here we go. Pendleton for the lead. Drives it in deep like Evans did last time. They touch. They bang it 3 and 4. Pendleton drives him up the hill. Who takes the lead at the line here? 6 to go. Evans hangs on for now.
That top line is doing great for momentum, but that Pendleton machine is doing great, driving it in really deep on the bottom.
Both of them get tight. Pendleton has the advantage. Diamonds 1 and 2. He takes the lead off the corner. Side draft by the 39. He counters it back. Both of them leaning on one another. 5 fingers in the air from Bernie. 5 laps remain here at Homestead Miami Speedway. It's a drag race into turn number 1. They touch again. Pendleton sideways.
I can't believe they haven't wrecked yet. They are just banging off the doors of their opponents right now, trading their wraps. This is going to be one heck of a finish.
They are turning Homestead Miami Speedway into a short track. Look at this. They are legit door-to-door off the corner. 4 laps remain here at Homestead. Who's it going to be here? Evans leads.
Looking at the lap time.
Wow, what a send for the 23. I think Evans let him go.
I think Evans had enough of being side by side because that Gardner machine was definitely starting to close in with those two being side by side. Don't think he was going to get there, but they were definitely holding each other up.
Evans going to set this up here. Shuts the door there. Three laps remain. I think Evans is going to set up 3 and 4 here to his liking. I feel like that's where he's really good at. Pendleton better in 1 and 2. And there you see it. Pendleton a little tight.
Evans giving it all he can right here. Look at him just wheeling that machine. Going for a ride. Just trying to keep part of his nose out in the clean air as he's trying to get every way he can, just trying to get around that 23.
I think he's trying to force Pendleton to overdrive the corner entry. 2 laps remain in the 305. Pendleton or Evans, make your picks.
We've gone back and forth so many times.
Evans running that second groove. Pendleton just smooth in the bottom of the corners.
Looks like Pendleton did a good job saving his stuff.
And he has turned on the afterburners. The gap at 0.3 of a second on Brandon Evans. White flag waves on the final lap here of round 5 of the season. Evans trying everything that he can do. Rim riding the top, up on the wall, the 39 goes. He is trying to throw the kitchen sink, but he lost a lot of time. But it's the driver of the Cruisin Classics, number 23, that makes his way through turns number 3 and 4. It's win 1 of the 2025 season. Ryan Pendleton, checkered flag, takes the win here at Homestead, Miami. What a race here, Jeremy. What a race here tonight.
No doubt about that. What a stellar performance here out of Pendleton. Started on the pole, finished the race in first place. Does not get any better than that. Great racing as well to everybody in the field. Just 2 cautions over 100 laps. This race just flew right by.
Evans second, Gardner third, Taylor fourth, Drabick 5th. We'll step aside to take a break here, and we'll talk with your top 3 in just a moment. But for right now, donut time for Ryan Pendleton. Breakfast came early for the 23. Stay with us on Maconi Entertainment.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Well, it's win number 1 of the season for the driver of the number 23, Ryan Pendleton, in a race that was not easy, that's for sure. Started on pole, takes the win, and right now, playoff eligible. Congratulations to him on a well-worthy performance. But what a race here tonight. Let's go to the official results here this evening. Pendleton with the win. Jeremy up, Brandon Evans in second. Jeremy Gardner, biggest mover, up 13 spots to finish third. Jason Taylor fourth with Patrick Drabick fifth. Eddie Smith, your 6th place finisher. Timothy Wilms, nice recovery for him to finish in 7th. Tyler Justice 8th. Charles Stevens 9th. And Blake Edel rounds out the top 10. Jeremy?
Just outside the top 10 and 11th finishing position, you got the number 7 of Charles Abert. 12th finishing position, you got Corinne Smith. 13th, you got James Kaufman. 14th, Josh Lokenvitz. 15th, Michael Bennett. 16th, Leva McCarty. 17th, George Duell. 18th, Jesse Whittington. 19th, Jacob Ellingson. 20th, Bobby Germain. 21st, Tanner Bethia. And 22nd, Logan Sturgeon.
Yeah, fun race here tonight, that's for sure. So with that, we've got your top 3 that we're ready to talk to here. We'll begin with your race winner. That's the driver, the number 23, Ryan Pendleton. Ryan, you definitely won that one badly, man. Take me through that pass for the win.
Yeah, that was a blast. Shout out to everyone that races this series and all our series. That was what I think we maybe had 1 caution, maybe 2. I can't remember. I think just
Only
1.
one yellow.
So, yeah, 1, and then green flag pit stops always makes it fun. Anytime you get a race with caliber guys like Brandon Evans, Jeremy Garner, Pat Drabick, Eddie Smith, all the guys in these series, it's fun. So, yeah, Brandon's always quick. I know he was saving his stuff from the beginning. I was trying to do the same while maintaining track position. Kind of saw him coming throughout the race, so I wanted to dictate the pace a little bit. Saw he caught up to me, kind of let him go there. Wanted to see what he had. I felt like I was a little bit better than him through the center and on exit on both sides. So kind of bid my time, and when it got 10 to go, I was like, all right, I need to find a window, and I knew it was going to have to be aggressive, but he raced me clean. I know hopefully it was a good show for the broadcast. We rub paint a little bit, but that's how it's supposed to be. So it was a good run.
Absolutely. Trading paint, rubbins racing, that's what they say. So were you that long run, were you saving early in the going? I know you started on pole, fell back a little bit, but made the move late in the race to take the lead on to pit stops.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, there's obviously a benefit to leading a lap, leading the most laps, you know, getting those bonus points. But at the end of the day, there's nothing better than getting a win. So I had my mindset, you know, I was going to run the line I wanted to run and kind of save my stuff. Long runs are typical in this league, let alone at this track. So I figured it was going to go that way. And I made the mistake plenty of times, including last night, to burn my stuff up too quick. So I didn't want to do that tonight. And I figured I'm going to stick to my plan, even if I lose some spots, you know, let everyone race real hard those first 50 laps and see where it shakes out.
Well, you've got an off week next week. I don't know what it's for here, but probably an off week to celebrate the Daytona 500 or President's Day. But you got Iowa in 2 weeks here. First Dash for Cash race of 2. What's the outlook look like going on in there?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed Iowa. I know it's a love-hate. Guys either hate it or love it. It's a short track, doesn't necessarily race like a short track, but anytime the tracks are a little bit different than your standard mile and a half or, you know, your super speedways, I tend to like them. Just gives you a little bit more room to work with as a driver. So we'll see. My schedule's always up in there. I hope to make it. And if I do, I hope to, you know, be competitive.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
You guys for sure for broadcasting. Really appreciate it. Obviously, this is the Wednesday night Cruisin Classics and Nasty Sports Bar and Grill series, next gen series. I had them on the car, so always good to get the title sponsor who's sponsoring the car in Victory Lane. So huge shout out to them. Go check them out. Lincoln Tech, Save 22. There's huge. You probably see some of the awesome paint jobs we have at Save 22. So huge shout out to them. Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs, and then the list goes on and on. You're going to hear it from all our drivers as you do every week, but really couldn't do it without them. Everyone that's coming on board who's continued to support us through the beginning, they've seen the growth. So really excited to see where this is going. Happy we're doing everything for veterans and first responders. Just couldn't be more proud of the league and everyone who helps out.
Well, great win for you tonight, Ryan. Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Ryan Pendleton, first win of the season for him. Well, success. Well, you know what they say, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Well, the agony for one, Brandon Evans looking to go back-to-back. Jeremy's got him.
We are sitting along with Brandon Evans here in the sim rig. Unfortunately, came up just one spot short, just a couple laps short, and man, you were wheeling the crap out of the thing. You had your hands full. What was it like from your vantage point, and what else did you need just to hold off Ryan here?
I probably to cover the bottom a little bit better in that one corner. He let me go, and I think I burnt my stuff up just slightly, but he was able to throw it down in the corner and get side by side, make it stick. And this is just one of those weird tracks, like when your tires are burnt up. Like I could make the run at going at the top lane, but then he would just send it on the bottom and cover me. So that's what makes Homestead a lot of fun. It's very like it's a tactical type of track when you're racing somebody. But yeah, he threw it in there and he made it stick, and we raced each other clean, and it was a lot of fun. Beginning of the race, I kind of sandbagged it. I thought everybody was taking off too fast. I started making my way back lap time wise. I don't know how far I would have got before the pit stop, but the second half I decided let's just go for it and see what happens. But came up short, and that's all right.
Well, the good news is you're in the booth for another interview, so that's good for the point standings on that end. So we appreciate your time. It was some great racing out there as well. I mean, only 2 cautions, and great green flag racing as always by this league. And we got Iowa in 2 weeks. What are your expectations for that?
For Jeremy not to hit me in the left rear like last time, I give him crap about it. I give him crap about it all the time. He moved me. It's a running joke. We probably text each other once a week about that. Yeah, you got to qualify well. You got to put your reps and sets in and get some seat time in at that track. It's got a lot of characteristics. Luckily that track and tracks like Richmond are, I tend to do fairly well there. So we'll just see how it goes. Look forward to being a part of the Dash for Cash, so that's fun.
A little extra incentive here in 2 weeks for you to come and race for that. Congratulations on the 2nd place finish, and the most important part, who do you got to thank for getting you here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Jam Printing and Promotions, Cruisin Classics, you guys in the booth. You guys did a great job tonight. Maconi Entertainment. Alexander PCs. I want to thank Operation Valor and Premier Racing Setups, and GoatLocker. It's a lot of fun and great racing tonight for sure.
Can definitely agree with you on that one. Thank you for your time, Brandon. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a great night.
Brandon Evans, our 2nd place finisher here this evening. We round out the podium here with Jeremy Gardner. Jeremy, a nice run for you here tonight. You made the decision to pit late in the go-in. Did you feel like that was going to be enough to maybe make a comeback on both Pendleton and Evans and steal a win?
Yeah, I was hoping so. I was hoping they would just get a hard run together like they did, running side by side right there. And I think I gained a whole second on them. But after that pit stop, I just went super tight. I don't know if I didn't take enough fuel to make the balance right on the car, but I just didn't have it there. And I was really hoping that would work out. But overall, though, I think we made for a hell of a broadcast tonight. I was sitting there trying to watch the broadcast and race at the same time. And that was pretty cool to see everybody, running side by side and really no cautions tonight. So.
Was it a little bit of a strategy between, obviously you and Brandon Evans being teammates? Did you decide to figure out, what works better here, trying to pit early or pit late? Was that set up earlier?
I mean, honestly, I didn't really go into it with any kind of strategy. I was just going to see how everything worked out tonight and just throw something at it, just take a guess. But, I mean, it got me a 3rd tonight. I'll take it. This ain't my best track by a long shot, so definitely worked out.
A great run for you tonight. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Pat and Jamie, GLR always. iRacing, Above the Yellow Line, Sim Motion, Cruisin Classics for putting on the Next Gen Series, my sponsor, Operation Valor. And, of course, y'all guys, y'all put on a hell of a broadcast tonight. We appreciate you.
Definitely appreciate the time, man. Great job tonight. Well done.
Appreciate it.
That's Jeremy Gardner. He rounds out the podium here this evening. And so with that being said, Jeremy, we get set to wrap things up here. We now move things forward. We've got the off week, obviously, next weekend, so we hope all of you enjoy the rest of Speed Weeks. Obviously, the big one on Sunday, the Daytona 500. But we get next Wednesday off, and we turn things over to 2 weeks from now, Iowa Speedway, which a lot of drivers are looking forward to. It's our first short track of the season.
Yeah, we have got a lot of momentum building on this season. This has been some great racing, tons of green flag racing, and tonight is just another tip of the cap to all these drivers for doing a great job out there. These cars are really hard to handle. They'll get loose, they'll bang doors, they'll touch and stuff like that, and they're doing a great job keeping their cars clean and green, and I just can't wait for the next race in Iowa. It's definitely going to be a good one.
So with that, we bid you adieu on this fine Wednesday night. Don't forget to join us at Maconi Entertainment on Saturday night for Full-Length Cup Challenge 500 at Daytona. Start time at 8:30 p.m. We are off next week for the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series, but are back in 2 weeks from now. We got one you're not going to want to miss out on, that's for sure. Iowa Speedway, short track racing. Who doesn't love it? Oh, of course you got to love it, that's for sure. So with that being said, we'll bid you adieu. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday night. I'm everyone here at Maconi Entertainment and GoatLocker Racing. A shout out to my broadcast partner, Jeremy Briggs. Marty Scala saying so long. Congratulations to Ryan Pendleton. Takes the checkered flag. First win of the 2025 season. Thanks for joining us. So long.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel.